you'll be loose. And that's the thing. It's like some people just can't be loose. They just can't figure that thing out to be free. They're just always in their own way.
But I think for me, even with acting that's made it like fun, the times I get it, is that I've made enough success in comedy and created a pretty good lifestyle off of that I don't have that pressure of having to book a role.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of actors now, it's like if they gotta get this serious, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just to continue the lifestyle they have. So for me, acting's always been like, oh, I'm just playing around. It's fun. I mean,
right.
Get it?
That's the best way to do it.
Yep.
Especially if if your stand-up is going well, like everything just sort of can be fine. You don't really care if you're doing a movie here or there. But if you were only doing movies, like those folks during the pandemic that kind of just went back to acting.
Right.
Because there are a few comics that
I was sick during the pandemic. I was so happy that shit was over because I got sick of these writers that we never heard about doing spots. They was like, this guy wrote for Family Guy. You're like, where the fuck you been? You ain't been in the trenches.
No, bro,
like that.
There's people that realize they have fucking mortgages.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And then they realize, oh my God, I'm so connected to the TV system that if it goes down because of the pandemic or another pandemic,
right.
I don't work for a year and a half. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think that made people have to figure out what their pivot was.
Yeah, well, you can't rely too much on a system that doesn't give a fuck about you. And a system that if you're paying attention to where it's going, a large amount of it is about to get sucked up by AI, like a giant chunk
of the entertainment.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think
giant chunk.
Tyler Perry. It was a story maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I think he was in the middle of either producing a movie or doing something. And
he was building an $800 million studio, and he paused the construction. As soon as he saw, what is it called? Sora? Sora.
It can create entire scenes.
Entire scenes that look realistic. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it.
Watch this.
This video came out yesterday, I think. This is like a balloon head guy. It's like a short film. All these scenes supposedly, I guess, are made by Sora.
So this is all AI.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's over.
They say everyone has something unique about them.
I don't know about the audio. That could be done
apart.
afterwards.
It's just in my case, it's quite obvious what that thing is. I am literally filled with hot air. Yeah, living like this has its challenges. Windy days, for one, are particularly troublesome. Or there was the one time my girlfriend insisted I go to the cactus store to get my Uncle Jerry a wedding present.
This is crazy.
What do I love most about my predicament?
Yeah, it's pretty well made. I don't know if we can.
And that's somebody just putting in the information and that's being created.
Yeah.
The New World Entertainment, Joe, this is what my prediction is.
But this is such a leap. That is such a leap above everything
else. Now, you add that to this. This is what's going to happen eventually. And this is not the right thing to say, especially about Hollywood. The idea of agencies, the idea of A&R, all of those jobs are about to be gone. And the only thing you're going to have is content creators. And the content creators are going to cut the middleman of the agency out, and they're going to go straight to the advertisers and the people that pay the money. You having to be connected with a certain entity or a certain agency, and they probably kill me after this, Joe. This makes me Illuminati right now. They going to kill me, Joe. Cat Williams and everybody coming for my neck. I'm telling you, it's going to come where all of those things that you needed to make it aren't going to exist anymore, and we're close to that right now.
Well, we already lost sitcoms, so sitcoms were number one.
Right.
That was like a number one job for a comedian. You get your own show.
Yeah,
right?
That was the only job you wanted.
That was
right.
the job that everybody wanted. And then they had comedy movies. Well, comedy movies have been drastically reduced. So the sitcom's gone, and then the comedy movies have drastically been reduced.
But what did most people want that for, Joe? What did the comedians wanted that for? Two things: money and fame.
Yeah, because there was no social media, and there was no YouTube, and so ticket sales were really dependent upon you being on a television show.
100%.
Yeah, it was a big factor.
And this is why you probably heard this. and it's a conversation when it comes to, especially when it comes to comedy. You got the YouTube comedians, you got the social media comedians. Like, comedy now is broken down into so many definitions of what comedy is now. When we first started, there was only one definition. The minute you heard someone say comedian, it was nothing but a guy who grabs a mic, stands flat-footed, and entertains the audience. It wasn't a comedian on boats. It wasn't that. When you say comedian, you just associate it with,
Comedian on boats.
you know, I mean, just like, no disrespect to the
You mean
cruise guys.
cruise guys? Is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
they find
Yeah.
their lane and they love it.
Bro, but that's a tough life, man.
You know,
that's
yeah,
a tough life.
that's a tough life. But-
Trapped on that boat, telling them some fucking jokes.
But then some people got mouths to feed. Some people
That is-
like this.
that is
they look
what
at
it
the, They
is.
look at the level of competition. They look at this. They be like this. You know what? And those guys, it's 6 figures.
Yeah, they
You know
make
what I'm
6
saying?
figures.
Oh yeah. They